given to parties for this purpose. This was done to facilitate participation of members who are connecting to the sitting through the virtual platform. The members who will pose supplementary questions will be recognized by the presiding officer, and in allocating opportunities for supplementary questions, the principle of fairness, amongst others, has been applied. If a member who is supposed to ask a supplementary question through the virtual platform is unable to do so, due to technological difficulties, the party whip on duty will be allowed to ask the question on their behalf. And when all supplementary questions have been answered by the executive, we'll proceed to the next question on the question paper. The first question has been asked by the Honorable Swinkambana to the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation. The Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, House Chair, and greetings to all the honorable members. Thanks for the question. The answer is that a panel for accreditation of student accommodation was appointed, consisting of 39 service providers. The awarding of this contract was based on standardized, rate-based costs for all the accredited providers. The total paid to date for 2023 accreditation amounts to 1,750,740 rands, 1.575 million. The service providers do not work with the local municipalities, ideal as this would be. They were all required to have the following skills in their team: building inspector, engineer, electrician, and health and safety official. They were also required to have experience in inspection of properties and a footprint in their region of choice, as well as sufficient resources. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I now recognize the Honorable Swinkambana. Is the member available on the platform?
Thank you, Speaker. Minister, please share with us the total number of properties where accreditation has been conducted, and how many of these have been successfully accredited, and what is the number of beds in each property at the institutions of higher learning? We ask this because we want to visit these institutions as part of oversight. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. But I want to plead with the EFF. Don't ask one question and then pretending that it's a follow-up, you are asking a completely new question. The original question says, what is the total monetary value of the contracts awarded to the 4 service providers? Now you are asking me to actually answer about all the service providers that have. Unfortunately, I don't have that answer now, not because I wouldn't like to answer that question, but it's a new question. It's actually different. So don't try and score cheap political points by violating the procedures for asking questions and asking new questions. I'm more than happy if we had asked that question to actually answer that question.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, the rules do state that a supplementary question must relate directly to the primary question that was asked. And I think the Honorable Member is more than welcome to get that information from the Honorable Minister through a written question. And as the Minister has said, he'll provide that information. Unfortunately, it is not part of the primary question. The second supplementary question is to be asked by the Honorable Sibiya.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. The demand of student accommodation will always exist as the demand for higher education grows. It is preferable to have higher education institutions own sufficient student accommodation, as institutional residents also promote curriculum activities of the university. The question is, Honorable Minister, what measures are being undertaken by higher education institutions to increase student accommodation investment, to increase beds owned and managed by institutions to reduce long-term dependency on private sector, private service providers? I thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you
Order,
very
honorable
much,
members.
Honorable Chair, and thanks to Honorable Spear. Mama Spear, umbuzo okubuzwa ke lo ubuzo. Ngoba siyayibona lengozi yokuthi siwuhulumeni ukwethembela eindaweni zokuhlala esihamba siyozithenga kubantu abathi baneyindawo zokuhlala abafundi zisifaka enkingeni. Ingakho every year we have a budget. I can provide that information from what we called our infrastructure and efficiency grant, that we give billions of rands. I think this year is just over 3 billion. And we are going to be getting new monies from National Treasurer, because our aim is to build, Honorable Chair, university and college-owned accommodation. Because this thing of private accommodation is causing us endless headaches. So we are engaging National Treasury to actually increase the amount of money through which you can be able to build accommodation that is owned by our universities. Already we have made applications to the National Treasury. I've got a list here of the number of beds that we have applied for throughout our 26 universities, public universities, as well as our 50 TVET colleges. And one of the things I'm going to do as this sixth administration comes to an end will be a total reliable calculation of how much is that going to cost, so that when the seventh administration comes in, knows exactly how much money we need over how long in order to be able to build university and college-owned student accommodation. So we have got that in our plans already. Ngiyabonga Mama Usbiya ngombuzo ophusile.
The third supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable King.
Minister, here is some info on bid SCMN 003 of 2022 to appoint experienced accreditation agents. Ketekanye Trading, not experienced in the field, and they are linked to the direct payment service provider Coinvest. Sole Director Mufahape Trading is a Chief Director of E-Government Department in Gauteng. Innate Safari Property and Asset Management Director is a chairperson of the Finance and Accounting Service Sector, Education and Training. Director of TKR Student Accreditation is an employee of AMSCO. Directors of MPS Management Solutions are owners of the student accommodation in Pretoria, registered on the NESTA student portal. Directors of Lomakanyi Enterprises is a 20-year-old who is the child of the provincial spokesperson of the ANC in Mpumalanga. The list is endless. Minister, who vetted the accommodation portal agents and accrediting agents, and will you lodge an investigation into the awarding of these contracts?
The Honorable Minister.
Honorable King, the best thing you should have done is
Order,
to
honorable
give
members.
me that information, because you are mentioning specific companies. How on earth am I supposed to guess who those companies are and what your complaint is about? Now, you want us to appear as if we are dodging answering questions. Give that information to me now. I will answer and give you the exact details of the information that we are asking. Don't continue violating the rules of questions by asking me new questions that are not there. Honorable King, noma uvele lapha ebhayisikopo ilethe lembuzo ngizokwazi ukuthi ngikuphendulele yona kuzwa izwe lonke, akho ngisho into eyodwa engingene ukuyiphendula. Kodwa msana ukuzoletha imibuzo ebikade ingabuziwe lapha. Ngiyabonga mhlali ngaphambili.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes. What is the point of order? Who is raising a point
Thank
of
you,
order?
House Chair.
Oh, yes.
The Honourable
Please
McPherson, Chair,
proceed.
on the virtual platform. Thank you,
Please
Chair.
proceed.
If the Minister is going to refuse to answer questions that are directly related to questions and that the member is entitled to ask, then what is the point of the Minister being here today? Because he is dodging, ducking, and diving.
Thank
his
you, Honourable
accountability
Member.
task.
Honourable members, I want to repeat what I said earlier. The follow-up questions must relate directly to the primary. You don't shout at me. I'll put you out. Just try it again. Just try it again. Honourable members, it must relate directly to the primary question that has been asked. If it doesn't relate directly to that, it would be unfair for the minister to provide information that he himself doesn't have at his disposal. So what you can do in this situation is, the minister has taken note, simply forward a written question to the minister, and he will be able to provide you with the correct information. You see, you run the risk, if the minister now simply responds, that he could give information that's incorrect, which is tantamount to misleading the House. And we cannot allow that to happen. That is not in terms of the parliamentary rules. Yes, Honourable Member?
Thank you so much, Speaker. I just want to ask the Speaker to just be cognizant of the answers that the Minister is not responding to. In relation to the question that we asked, it's about service providers providing accreditation
No, Honourable
for
Member.
properties.
No.
And we are asking how many properties
Yeah,
did they
just,
accredit?
yes. You
It's
see,
directly
Honourable
linked.
Member, please take your seat. The minister is the executive authority. The minister is not the line function official that is working with that information. Do you really now expect the minister to give you those type of specifics if you did not ask it in the primary question? And by the way, the primary question has been asked very specifically to which the minister has responded to. And let us conduct the session in that way. Let's be fair to one another, while at the same time ensuring that we do get the information from the minister, as he has indicated that he will provide when you request it in writing. Honourable Radebe. And I want to get on with the question session now.
Thank you, Honourable Acting Speaker. I think that we must also appeal to the members here that the questions of the statistical nature cannot be expected to be answered in the House. They can only be asked in the form of a written question. Thank you, Chair.
Honourable members, I have now dealt with this matter, and I want to proceed now with the rest of the questions. The last follow-up question has been asked by the Honourable Zondo. Is the Honourable Member on the platform, or is the party taking it on his behalf? Please proceed, Honourable Member.
Honourable Minister, cool down, cool down. We know that we are going to elections.
What is the question, Honourable Member?
Cool down, Honourable Minister. In the light of the recent revelations and issues highlighted
Order,
by
Honourable
the
Members, I can't hear the
organization.
member.
In
Repeat
the
your
light
question,
of the
Honourable
recent,
Member.
in the light of recent revelation and issues highlighted by the outer in its equity into the National Student Financial Aid Scheme pilot project regarding the student accommodation, where owners and developers of facility construct for NSFAS students expressed the view that 15,000 reduction is impractical in light of escalating interest rates, maintenance expenses, and municipal charges. What are the steps is the Department of Higher Education and Science and Innovation undertaking to guarantee the fair and sustainable compensation for the accommodation providers, ensuring that upkeep of student living standards, irrespective
Your
of
time
their
is now expired. Honourable Minister.
I want to assure, thanks, Chair, Honourable Zondo, that I'm as cool as a cucumber. Angaze njengasatshiswa i-opposition empilweni yakhe. Honourable Zondo, the best way to answer your question is simply this, that the pilot by NSFAS to actually accredit particular providers of accommodation is aimed at one and only one thing: that students do not stay in accommodation that is below par, that is at variance with the kind of learning environment that we need. And as a government, we have got very clear as the department policy and criteria for doing that. Then what NSFAS was doing, which by the way, they sought permission from me because I said, you can't be paying money without ensuring yourself that the accommodation is up to standard. Then NSFAS checks a number of things: the standard, the quality, the context, including the challenges in specific municipalities that are there, so that NSFAS is also able to work towards addressing those problems. That is at the heart of the answer to the question that we are actually asking, including the question of municipal charges. We are doing this, Honorable Chair, in conclusion, because there are so many chancellors who build literally sometimes things equal to shacks, and then they come and charge students exorbitant amounts of money in an environment that is not correct. The other problem is that NSFAS is required to account by this parliament, by the Auditor General, for having paid money that they can't explain. How did they pay so much money for accommodation that is below par? All these things that we are asking about are about that. And everything is done in order to address this.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Your time is now expired.
To tackle this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honourable Chair.
The next question, question number 71, has been asked by the Honourable Mananiso to the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation. The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Chair, and thank you to Honourable Mananiso for the question. The answer to the question is that all our 26 public universities have commenced with registration as I'm speaking now, and most have paid book allowances to students after receiving also an amount of 2.872 billion from NSFAS in January 2024. Most universities reported to be in the process of paying out food allowances and in some instances accommodation allowances after receiving further allocations from NSFAS. Some universities have agreed to even extend the registration period to support the onboarding of more students. Secondly, the total number of provisionally funded students from the bursary allocation for the 2024 academic year is 1.2 million, as per data that was captured on the 4th of March. That's the latest data available. NSFAS is processing applications for the loan scheme that we have introduced for the missing middle, hoping to fund an estimated 31,800 students. Thank you.